Welcome to my LGBT lesbian channel. The series Checkmate, Stripper and Dance for Me are voiced for you in full history. Thank you for your comments, reactions and subscription to my channel. Have a nice day everyone. Camilla Collins' point of view. I stared at my reflection in the mirror in the closet as I touched up the last details of my makeup. After arriving home, I found my husband calmer, in a more pleasant mood. Christopher didn't seem as angry as this morning, which gave me certain reassurance. As a proof of his good mood, the man decided to take me out to dinner. According to him, we needed to spend more time together. "Are you ready, honey?" he asked as he stopped short behind me. He smirked before wrapping my body with his arms and depositing a soft kiss on the back of my neck. That night I opted for a dark green dress, of light and loose fabric, with thin straps and a mild neckline. On my feet I had a pair of nude high heels. My hair was tied in a bun, leaving my neck and chest free for the diamond necklace I won on our last wedding anniversary. "Yes, do I look good like this?" I asked as I freed myself from his arms, to then turn towards him. "You look wonderful, as always." The man stared at me with his pair of light, attractive eyes. He was only wearing dark jeans and a burgundy dress shirt, with the sleeves folded up to his forearm. On his feet he had black dress shoes. "You also look great, darling." We left our house and got into the car that was already waiting for us. Christopher gently opened the car door and closed it the minute I accommodated myself inside it. Then he sat down beside me, so that the driver could take us to the restaurant downtown. The drive was smooth and quick. We arrived at a very well-known restaurant, nothing too fancy though. Collins decided to choose a simpler place, but still a very good one. We settled at one of the tables, and soon we ordered our dinner. "I wanted to apologize for earlier today. I was very rude to you." I stared at his eyes, which were looking at me somewhat anxiously, waiting for an answer. I wiped the corner of my lips with the white napkin and smiled. "It's okay, darling," I said as I rested my hand over his on the table. "I should have informed you. I just don't want you to go out alone. I'm afraid that what happened will happen again." "Of course, you're absolutely right. I was trying to play the good wife. It was the best thing to do after almost being caught." Christopher was easily manipulated. Of course, I already knew all the tricks I could use to keep him on a short leash. I couldn't make a mistake now. "I was thinking about traveling at the end of the year. What do you think?" I took a sip of wine while my head buzzed with numerous thoughts. In my plans, till the end of the year, Christopher would be an overthrown piece on my chessboard, and a one less problem in my life. I didn't want to schedule trips, or anything. That would prolong my presence at his side, but he didn't need to know that, right? I think it's a wonderful ideal. We should really look into some good places for this trip. I'll think of some destinations. I want to spend more time with you." He stroked my hand as he stared at me. Camilla." "Yes?" "I've been thinking a lot today, and I wanted to tell you something." "Thinking about what?" I asked as I took a sip of water from the crystal glass. "I want to have a child," he said quickly, not beating around the bush. In that instant the water seemed to go down the wrong pipe, and I began to cough nonstop, choking on the cold liquid. Christopher widened his eyes and tried to help me until the cough gradually subsided. "Are you all right?" he asked, frightened. I took a deep breath, bringing as much air as possible into my lungs before facing him. "Yes, I'm fine. I don't want to scare you. I just thought it would be." "Christopher." I averted my eyes from his. trying to think of a convincing answer that would push away that idea from his thoughts without irritating him. And that was when I saw two people sitting by the window in a lively conversation. I didn't need much to recognize one of them. The dark hair, the really white skin, and the perfect body brought back some very good memories from a few hours ago. "Is there a problem?" Christopher asked as he turned towards where I was looking. "I see that Agent Yaregui is very well accompanied tonight." The malicious tone of his voice only made that sensation triple within me. Lauren was a few meters away from me, sitting at a table with a woman I didn't know. Even though she was kind of familiar to me, nothing stood out for me to recognize her. After all, she had her back turned to me. "It seems so," I murmured without taking my eyes off them. "I didn't know Lauren liked women," Christopher commented as he tasted the pasta on his plate. I couldn't hear him right. My head seemed to revolve around Lauren and the woman at the back. I confess that my body was seething, but not in the way the deputy was used to making me feel. On the contrary, I was seething with anger. I balled one of my hands into a fist as I clenched my jaw tightly. I took a deep breath, trying to push away all kinds of thoughts that were crossing my mind. "Has she ever hit on you?" "What?" I asked, confused. "Lauren, has she ever hit on you?" "Oh, for God's sake, Christopher," I grumbled irritably. "Of course not." "Good." I took a big sip of my wine, and then looked back at Lauren and the woman, who now stood up, giving me the chance to see her face. When the beautiful woman turned around, my thoughts were bombarded with memories of a very specific night. Hell. Kina was smiling brightly. She waved to Lauren as she walked towards the bathroom. I looked at my husband, who was talking nonstop about something I had no clue about. I was too busy thinking about ways to kill someone. "Why do I feel that you became distracted after you saw Agent Yaregui?" Because I really was. My urge in that moment was to get up from the table and walk towards the deputy to demand some sort of explanation, as if I was worthy of one. I was angry, irritated, and jealous. I cussed myself for that. I hated being jealous, but Lauren was so deep under my skin to the point of driving me crazy with such emotion. "It's your impression," I pondered with a fake smile. "Are you sure, Camilla?" "Yes, my love. I was thinking about our trip, about the places we can visit." "That's wonderful. Have you thought about Cancun?" The dinner was slow and tortuous. Every so often I allowed myself to watch them. Lauren was so engrossed in her company that she didn't even notice the people around her. It was unbelievable how things had their ups and downs. When both were ready to leave, Lauren seemed to be looking around the restaurant, so I quickly shrunk myself into my seat, lowering my head so that she wouldn't see me, and it seemed to work as the woman behaved as naturally as possible. Before leaving that place, accompanied by a beautiful and mellifluous woman, the drive back was made in silence, but Collins didn't seem to mind. He was tired and sleepy. The absence of a conversation only increased the pressure of my thoughts, which revolved around Lauren and Kina. Were they getting involved again? I knew Kina, even if I was only for a few hours in her presence. In addition to her dazzling beauty, the young woman knew how to seduce, tease, and instigate. Not like me, of course, but she still deserved her merits. If you like the voice acting of the continuation of the series Shaw and Matt, leave a comment under the video. This will be an incentive to continue the voice acting. Tell me your preferences, which series is faster to voice and in what language. Thank you for subscribing to my channel.